We previously talked about how crucial a major first-party title is to a successful launch of a new Nintendo console. And this time round, Nintendo looks to have delivered. The Switch 2 will launch with Mario Kart World. And while I'll admit I was skeptical at first, following both the Switch 2 and dedicated Mario Kart Directs, and being lucky enough to actually get my grubby mitts on the game at the London Switch 2 hands-on event, I'm now convinced this was a great call. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe continues to be the best-selling original Switch title, so the choice to launch the Switch 2 with its successor is an easy and sensible one. But that doesn't mean Nintendo's been resting on its laurels. So let's take a look at the Switch 2's all-important launch title, see what's new, what's been left out, and why this will be a great game to help launch Nintendo's next console. Hal from GamesRadar here, and welcome to Switch On, where we talk all things Nintendo Switch 2. Let's kick off with the karts themselves and how they've changed over the years. After Super Mario Kart 64 and Super Circuit all had the default karts, Double Dash introduced different karts inspired by the cast of characters, which DS expanded upon. Wii introduced motorbikes, 7 introduced driving underwater and gliding, alongside deeper kart customization, which 8 doubled down on, while also adding funky gravity hover modes. In World, it looks like we're taking a bit of a step back. Kart customization is gone, but there are still tons of vehicles to choose from. Driving underwater is out too, replaced with driving on water, Sonic All-Stars racing style. And gliding seems to be upgraded to full-blown flying, or at least in free roam mode. As for the anti-grav hover mechanic, that's gone too, which I don't think is a major loss. Aside from purely visuals and from getting a boost from bumping into other races, there wasn't really a gameplay benefit. Instead, we have interesting traversal tricks. There's a manual super jump, grinding on rails, barriers and wires, and of course wall riding. It all feels a bit Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, adding so much more opportunity for experimentation and verticality during races. And the tracks themselves seem tailored to make the most of these. We saw quite a few courses in 8 have multiple routes to add a bit of variation and chaos, and this looks to take it to a whole new level. The items are a pretty standard affair for a new Mario Kart. Some new additions, some returning favorites, and some omissions from the previous game. There's also the Dash Food, glowing to-go bags containing meals that, once eaten, don you in costumes inspired by the cuisine, which in turn seems inspired by the encompassing region. Not too dissimilar to our favorite plumber's various outfits in Super Mario Odyssey. Character-wise, we have a lot of new and returning faces, but interestingly, exclusively from Mario's catalog, no longer sharing the universe-blending Smash Bros. Approach of Mario Kart 8. Link, Isabelle, Inklings et al. Are gone, and it seems to tie in with the new theme of World, which is just that, the world of Super Mario. The tracks themselves are what we've come to expect. Well thought out circuits and sprints, both returning and lovingly updated, and brand new, with interesting obstacles and absolutely stunning backdrops. And talking of those, with each installment, the details, references, and overall quality of these backdrops has only gotten more and more impressive, hinting at the worlds that stretch beyond the tracks you're racing through. And finally, in World, we can leave the tracks and explore what lies beyond, with each track nestled in one big connected island. Not unlike how Super Mario Odyssey showed all the kingdoms in relation to one another on one nondescript planet. The landscapes are beautiful and feature various biomes reflecting the tracks scattered amongst them. The tracks themselves seem to act as fast travel points too, so you can warp to a course, get in a practice lap or run a race, then hop the fence and go explore. It's a gameplay loop reminiscent of Burnout Paradise or Forza Horizon, and I think it'll work perfectly for Mario Kart. The open world is peppered with P-switch challenges and hidden coins and panels to root out, so free roam is ideal for lazy jaunts, a nice change of pace from the frantic standard racing. I got a brief test of the open world while it served as its secondary purpose, one big waiting room for matchmaking, and it handles really well. It took a second to get out of the drive as fast as you can way of thinking, but once you do, it feels pretty natural and easy to explore. Now onto the racing modes, starting with Grand Prix, which works really interestingly. The first race is a conventional 3-lap gauntlet around the first course, or whatever is the norm for that particular track, just like the previous games. But then races 2, 3, and 4 are a little different. In these, you race from the previous track across the open world to the next course, completing 1 lap to finish that leg. Now, I had mixed feelings about this. While driving from course to course is a really fun premise, it does mean you spend less time actually on these incredibly detailed and beautiful tracks. When I played it, after the first race, the subsequent tracks felt like they were over in a flash, even though, including the commute, the leg was just as long as a standard race. I realized it's exactly how I felt when I discovered that the Mario Kart 8 remake of N64 Rainbow Road is a single lap sprint. It's all over before you've really had a chance to appreciate it. However, in the Mario Kart Direct, my concern was addressed with Versus mode, essentially the custom rules mode, where we have even more options now. You can play Worlds versus mode just like previous games. Play 3 laps of a track, then 3 laps of another, and so on and so forth. Or you can choose to race between each track GP style. Now, back in Mario Kart 8, you could select 48 races as an option in the custom rules. So before the booster course pass, you could race every single track in the game in one long cup. Me and a mate did this once on a stream, and it took us over 3 hours. Now that was an odyssey. But as the Direct says, you can create routes that aren't featured in either GP or knockout modes. So that begs the question, how many races can you do in a row, and can you race every single track in World, racing between all of them in one long marathon tour? Right, let's talk that new elimination mode, Knockout Tour. This, I reckon, will be extremely popular in online play purely due to the chaos. 24 players take part and are gradually shaved off over one long race. And I mean long. The rallies, the series of routes these knockout races take place over, span 6 courses and the stretches of road in between. They make 3 laps of N64 Rainbow Road look like a brisk jaunt to the shops. After each stretch, the finish line of a track hosts a knockout checkpoint, whittling the players down from 24 to 20 to 16, 12, 8, then the final 4 in one last all-out sprint. Against human players, these are manic. I was lucky enough to give this mode a go, and each checkpoint felt like a final lap, nail-bitingly grueling as each one of us frantically threw everything we had to claw our way back up to a safe place. I made it to the penultimate cutoff, ultimately finishing 3rd, and I gotta say, it was one of the most intense gaming experiences of my entire life. Open world aside, Knockout Tour is the big new selling point for World, especially from a competitive standpoint. The amount of drama that could be unleashed from this onslaught of a mode could fill an ocean with salt. I mean, just think about it, 23 other players all hostile towards you as you're constantly fighting for a safe position. Let's round out multiplayer, as the recent Direct outlined just how comprehensive World's social capabilities are. Online, races and battle modes support up to 24 players, who can be divided into up to 4 teams. A 24-player free-for-all balloon battle sounds absolutely terrifying, and I am all for it. Free roam also seems to support 8 players too, for those casual Sunday drives. Over local wireless, up to 8 players can play, with each system supporting up to 2 players, and for those good old couch competitions, the standard 4-player split screen holds true. And let's not forget its camera integration that plasters your mug on top of your racer for real-time reactions. And let's face it, we're all going to be channeling our inner Sasspot Luigi here. I honestly wondered what Mario Kart could really do following 8 Deluxe. All in, it has 96 courses, 48 characters, over 13,000 kart combinations, and pretty much every gameplay mode you could think of. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was seemingly the ultimate Mario Kart experience, and aside from remastering every single track that's ever been, and Super Circuit has 5 Bowser Castles, so good luck with that, I didn't think there was anywhere of note the series could really go. But boy am I glad to be proven wrong. With its open world, racing modes that aim to utilize it to its fullest potential, and dedication to uphold what makes Mario Kart such a staple, World is a really interesting and exciting step forward for the franchise. I spent hundreds of hours getting lost exploring Mexico and Great Britain in Forza Horizon, and I can very easily see myself doing exactly the same in Mario's new racing landscape. And considering Nintendo has been supporting Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for 8 years now, World certainly has potential to rack up those hours. You know what? I am looking forward to it. and it genuinely feels great to be excited about a Mario Kart game again. But what about you? Are you eager to play Mario Kart World? Will you be picking up a Switch 2 day one to play it? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you next time for Switch On.